He can set traps. He can use his legs to move around a little bit and wait for the right spot, the right entry point to come in with a dangerous guy. He can do it all, and he can figure it out on the fly with the cerebral part.
Tank Davis has once again got the boxing world buzzing, and this time, it's not even about a fight. He recently shared videos showing himself in top shape, ripped muscles, broad shoulders, and no sign of any off-season weight.
No belts, no money or nothing. Just put them in front of me, and I'll show you that I'm better than that.
His impressive shape has experts talking, with some even thinking this fight could be a much bigger challenge for Roach than expected.
Yeah, I mean, but again, they pick and choose, so it is what it is. And again, the media like to hate him too, so I'm going to catch a lot of that backlash too. But I mean, it is what it is. I ain't really studying that too much. I'm not worried about narrative. I'm worried about what I can do in the ring.
All right.
Originally set for December 14th in Houston, Texas, the fight against Lamont Roach was delayed due to a scheduling issue. Now, it's set to take place at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. However, despite the date change, one thing remains the same. Boxing insiders are still doubtful that Roach stands a real chance against Davis.
Get ready for 2 fights. But, yes, and after I beat him the second time, I probably would ask the WBA to let me go up to 140 and fight.
Fans might be excited for this fight, but the experts are skeptical. Watching Tank's recent videos, they're questioning whether Roach truly understands what he's up against. With 3 months to go, Davis already looks like he could fight tomorrow. His shoulders are massive, his arms are defined, and his entire frame screams power and focus. Former champion Sean Porter didn't mince words after seeing the clips, saying this isn't just good shape, it's knockout-ready shape. And he's not the only one taking notice. Tank is making a statement without saying a word. Teddy Atlas, known for his no-nonsense takes, didn't hold back. He warned that Tank is always dangerous, but when he's this focused, he's even more of a problem. He added that Lamont Roach better have a solid game plan, or seriously reconsider stepping into the ring. Fans have also taken notice, flooding social media with comments like, "Roach is in trouble," and "Tank's already in fight shape." While the excitement is high, experts are more cautious. This isn't just a physical mismatch, it's a mental one too. The general consensus? Roach has heart, but heart alone won't win fights, especially not against someone like Gervonta Davis.
But, a lot of times at the beginning, people thought he was just a seek and destroy missile. They thought he was just a guy that got to you. And they thought that he would get over anxious. He don't get over anxious. He takes his time. He slowly closes those gaps.
Roach is no pushover. He's a skilled technical fighter with solid defense and a tough chin. But even his biggest supporters can't ignore the massive gap in experience and firepower. Eddie Hearn put it plainly. Look, Lamont's a good fighter, no doubt, but Tank is on a completely different level. This isn't just a step up for Roach, it's a giant leap, and that's where the danger lies. And Hearn isn't the only one raising concerns. Hall of Famer Bernard Hopkins was even more direct, saying, "There's no shame in admitting you're not ready." Tank isn't just a knockout artist. He's smart, calculated, and ruthless. This isn't the kind of fight you take unless you're 100% sure you can win. Roach might not even make it past the first half of the fight.
That Lamont, the way that everybody else look at Lamont, like I know Lamont is a really good fighter. I'm not. This ain't no Frank Martin. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It's a real good fight.
For Lamont Roach, the stakes couldn't be higher. A win over Davis would instantly make him a star, but a brutal loss could seriously damage his career, making it tough to bounce back. It's the kind of risk that has veteran fighters shaking their heads. What makes Gervonta Davis so dangerous isn't just his knockout power, though that's definitely a big factor. It's how he pairs that power with precision, patience, and a high fight IQ. Tank doesn't just swing for knockouts. He sets traps, studies his opponents, and strikes with pinpoint accuracy when the moment is right.
My whole family is from DC. My whole family, like my entire family.
Don't bring them. Don't bring them.
For what?
Don't bring them. I'm telling you.
They gonna celebrate with me. Yeah,
don't bring them.
It's gonna be a party on your floor.
Former heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis summed it up perfectly. Tank isn't just a puncher, he's a finisher. When he smells blood, it's over. For Roach to have any chance, he'd need to be flawless every second of every round. And against someone like Davis, that's nearly impossible. This is where the real concern lies for Roach. While he's a skilled fighter, his style may not be the best matchup against Davis. Roach relies on defense and counterpunching, but against a fighter like Tank, who can cut off the ring and force exchanges, that strategy might not hold up.
While I fight, when they start talking, that's when y'all get dumb. I'm gonna beat his ass.
He can't do shit with.
For
I don't
real.
give a fuck.
So y'all better be quiet.
The venue change adds another layer of intrigue to this fight. Moving from the Toyota Center in Houston to the Barclays Center in Brooklyn brings a whole different energy. Known for hosting electric boxing events, the Barclays crowd will be loud, passionate, and brutally honest. Veteran trainer Joe Goosen sees this as yet another advantage for Davis. The atmosphere at Barclays can be overwhelming if you're not used to it. Tank's been here before. He knows how to thrive in that environment. Roach, he's stepping into unfamiliar territory, and that matters. For Roach, the pressure will be massive. He's not just fighting Tank. He's battling the crowd, the bright lights, and the weight of expectations. And for a fighter with limited experience on this kind of stage, that's a lot to handle.
I'm gonna beat his ass when y'all talking. For real. So y'all better be quiet. I don't give a fuck about
The big question isn't whether Tank is ready. He clearly is. The real question is whether Lamont Roach should be taking this fight at all. Many boxing insiders believe Roach has the skill to become a world champion one day, but they're not convinced this is the right fight at the right time. Andre Ward, who understands timing better than most, put it simply, there's nothing wrong with taking your time and building up to a fight like this. But once you step in the ring with someone like Tank, there's no turning back. Roach has to be absolutely sure this is the right move. Even Timothy Bradley, known for his toughness and his frequent criticism of Tank, expressed doubts. Tank is the kind of fighter who breaks your confidence before you even realize it. Roach has heart, but sometimes heart isn't enough. He's stepping into a fight that could end badly for him.
What do you think of the announcement of the Gervonta Davis Roach fight?
I think that, he's had a lot of criticism, but it's not a bad fight. Lamont Roach is a world champion. He's smaller than Gervonta Davis. The problem is not many people are aware of who he is or his ability, but he can.
Despite all the warnings, one thing is clear. This fight has everyone talking. The clash of styles, the high stakes for both fighters, and Tank's incredible conditioning have created a buzz that's impossible to ignore. The big question remains, can Roach rise to the challenge, or will Davis add another devastating knockout to his highlight reel? March 1st is shaping up to be a night full of drama and action. For Gervonta Davis, this fight is more than just another win. It's a chance to remind the world why he's one of the most feared fighters in boxing.
Well, Tank twice. I lost both times. The first one was a little. No, both they on YouTube. You can go watch them.
Yeah, I got you. So, first one's a little fishy.
Yeah.
For Lamont Roach, this fight is a chance to shock the world and silence the doubters. But if the experts are right, and they usually are, it could also be the most dangerous night of his career. Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis made headlines once again during the kickoff press conference for his fight against Roach. The undefeated lightweight champion dropped a bombshell. 2024 will be his final year in the ring. Davis revealed plans to fight 3 more times before retiring, saying he's ready to step away from boxing to focus on his family and building his real estate portfolio.
Christmas wish list, 3 names that you want 2025.
I won't say.
All right. Who?
Tank's retirement announcement has sent shockwaves through the boxing community. While some see it as a smart move to protect his health and legacy, others question whether he's leaving too soon, potentially walking away from big paydays and unification fights. Legendary fighter Bernard Hopkins weighed in with a different perspective. The Hall of Famer fully supports Davis's decision, calling the undefeated southpaw a generational talent who has already done enough to secure his place among boxing's greats. However, even Hopkins couldn't help but wonder if this decision is truly final, or if the thrill of the ring might eventually bring Tank back.
Whoop his ass. I'm always looking for a knockout. No matter what, I'm always prepared for 12 rounds. But I'm always looking for a knockout, and if I get the chance, I'm going to try to knock his head off.
With an undefeated record of 30-0, including 28 knockouts and titles in 3 weight classes, Gervonta Davis has built a career most fighters can only dream of. His star power skyrocketed after his 2023 victory over Ryan Garcia, a fight that broke pay-per-view records with over 1.2 million buys and earned him a career-high payday of $50 million. While that win cemented Davis as a global boxing superstar, some critics have questioned his career choices. The 136-pound catchweight and rehydration clause imposed on Garcia led some to believe the fight wasn't completely fair, with Garcia himself claiming he was physically limited. Despite the criticism, Bernard Hopkins sees Davis's accomplishments as undeniable. Tank did what all the greats have done. He reached the highest level, Hopkins said. As far as I'm concerned, he's a first-ballot Hall of Famer. Hopkins acknowledges the debates surrounding Tank's career, admitting that every era has its share of fights that could have happened but didn't. Still, he believes Davis's accomplishments speak for themselves. The timing of Davis's retirement plans has raised eyebrows, especially considering the opportunities still available in the lightweight division. After his March 1st fight with Lamont Roach Jr., Tank could chase unification bouts against WBC champion Shakur Stevenson or IBF titleholder Vasily Lomachenko. Either matchup would draw massive interest and could cement Davis as the undisputed king of the lightweight division.
It's overall been something that he's not been in the ring with. I'm the total package, and honestly, sometimes I think he doubts himself. But I'm a competitor, and I feel like I'm the best. So I'm a show up. When he talked,
moving up to 140 pounds could also set up blockbuster fights against Devin Haney or Teofimo Lopez, both of whom have shown interest in facing Davis. These matchups would attract huge audiences and generate massive paydays, but Tank doesn't seem interested in sticking around for long. With his plan to fight 3 times in 2024, including the Roach bout, only 2 fights remain before his self-imposed retirement. He's already teased an announcement about his next opponent right after facing Roach, sparking speculation about who will make the cut for the final stages of his career. For Hopkins, Davis's decision to retire young isn't just understandable, it's admirable. As someone who fought into his late 40s, Hopkins knows firsthand the physical and mental toll boxing takes on a fighter.
By that logic, if Tank Davis is weight bullying Lamont Roach because he pulls Lamont Roach up to 135 pounds, isn't every single fighter that's asking Tank Davis to fight at 140 pounds, aren't they trying to weight bully him too?
Tank is focused on securing his financial future and leaving the sport before taking unnecessary damage. I respect that, Hopkins said. Every fighter has to walk their own path, and Tank understands his. Hopkins also pointed out that Davis's recent life changes, especially the birth of his son, may have shifted his priorities. Fatherhood has given Tank a new perspective, where long-term health and family now take precedence over chasing professional accolades. However, Hopkins isn't ruling out the possibility of a change in plans. He's young, and he may still change his mind, he said. Something might happen in the next 1 or 2 fights, something spectacular, that makes him reconsider. If he says he's doing 1, 2, or 3 more fights, let's respect that and hope they're the fights we all want to see.
But everybody be talking shit to Gervonta, it don't be coming out good for them, my nigga. I'm just keeping it real.
He obviously is a superstar. But just because it's who he is, this don't change no program that I got going on. I'm here to win. I've been coming to win. And I think the same result will happen on December.
Whether Davis sticks to his retirement timeline or not, the next year will be crucial in shaping his legacy. His upcoming fight against Lamont Roach Jr. is expected to be a showcase, but the real test lies in his final 2 bouts. Fans and critics alike are hoping Tank uses those fights to silence any lingering doubts about his career. For some, that means facing Shakur Stevenson, a fighter widely regarded as one of the most technically gifted in the sport today. A win against Stevenson wouldn't just unify titles, it would also end any debate about Tank's willingness to take on the best. Others are calling for a showdown with Vasily Lomachenko, whose skill and experience would present one of the toughest challenges of Davis's career.
I think he actually took this fight for the naysayers and all this and all the people talking shit about the fight. I think he actually took the fight because he know that I'm a dog. And, he want to prove his skills.
And then there's the possibility of stepping into the ring with Devin Haney or Teofimo Lopez at 140 pounds. Both fighters present unique challenges and bring massive fan bases, making them ideal opponents for Davis's final year. As much as Davis insists he's ready to walk away, history suggests that retirement in boxing is rarely permanent. The allure of the sport, the promise of massive paydays, and the desire to cement a legacy have pulled countless fighters back into the ring. Even Hopkins admitted that something spectacular in Tank's upcoming fights could spark a rematch or a challenge too tempting to pass up. But even if Davis does step away for good, Hopkins believes his legacy is already secure.
I say 9th round.
What?
I say 9th round.
You said 9th?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look. He looked at night.
I'm telling him, you saying you going down in a night?
As far as his era goes, Tank has done enough. Every era has its what-if fights, but Tank's path is his own. If he walks away after 3 more fights, then his decision should be respected and his accomplishments celebrated. Gervonta Davis's announcement has sparked debate, but one thing is clear, he's leaving on his own terms. Whether he sticks to his plan or changes his mind later, he has already left an undeniable mark on the sport. For Bernard Hopkins, Tank's career is a testament to smart decision-making, talent, and timing. He's done what he set out to do, Hopkins said. If this is the end, then he's leaving as one of the greats of his generation, and there's nothing wrong with that.
One's been able to solve Tank Davis. What do you need to do together with you and your team and obviously your son to score that victory?
We got a game plan. We're going to execute it, and we're going to get the
Move
result.
that head, bob and weave, bob and weave.
But perhaps the most interesting voice in this discussion has been Conor Benn. The British welterweight isn't holding back. After a rough few years, Benn has his sights set on one of the biggest names in boxing, Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Benn firmly believes that Davis's upcoming opponent, Lamont Roach Jr., poses no real challenge, and that he himself would be the ultimate test for Tank's mettle. His challenge to Davis isn't new. Earlier this year, the two exchanged barbs on social media, with Benn calling out Tank for a potential catchweight bout. According to Benn, a formal offer of approximately $25 million was sent to Davis's camp, but the response was nothing but silence.
Make him work, though. Make him work.
He's just a mouthy little clown, Benn said in an interview with Fight Hub TV, clearly unimpressed by Tank's bravado. He just wanted to pipe up and start talking. I told him, "You keep talking, my promoter will get back to you in 48 hours. But according to Benn, Davis's team, including his advisor Al Heyman, shut down the idea before it could gain traction. Benn dismissed the situation with typical bravado, claiming Tank doesn't even understand the concept of negotiation. His boss didn't let him out to play, Benn quipped. He's an idiot. I don't even think he knows what negotiating means.
Gervonta Davis. This is the latest. Gervonta Davis and Conor Benn going back and forth to the point where Davis is just firing off 5 or 6 tweets. He's showing us screenshots where Eddie Hearn is dropping into the DMs and saying, do you really want this fight? Gervonta's saying, yeah, I do.
Davis is our Tank is go out there and goes, yeah, I'll fight him. He obviously saw something. He goes, oh yeah, I'm going to beat that guy. Yeah.
Benn's confidence is rooted in his belief that Davis's career has been strategically managed to avoid the toughest fights. While Tank boasts an impressive undefeated record and victories across multiple weight classes, Benn isn't buying the hype. His career has been very well maneuvered, Benn said. Fight Shakur. I bet he'll retire before he fights Shakur. For Benn, Davis's choice to face Lamont Roach Jr. only reinforces this narrative. He believes that Roach, while a respectable fighter, doesn't pose a legitimate threat to Tank's dominance. Lamont Roach is no challenge. He's just keeping busy, Benn said. Instead, Benn sees himself as the kind of opponent who could genuinely test Davis's limits.
I think that fight gets made. Listen, I agree to fight anyone. Do you know what I mean? Ain't my concern. You know, if 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 mil ain't enough, then stop hyping up on Twitter. Do you know what I mean? Stay quiet. Stay at your house with your little tag on your ankle, with your house arrest, instead of piping up.
Known for his aggressive style and knockout power, Benn is convinced that his relentless approach would be too much for Tank to handle. One of the sticking points in Benn's pursuit of Davis is the issue of weight. While Davis has fought as high as 140 pounds, most notably when he stopped Mario Barrios to claim the WBA super lightweight crown, he currently campaigns at 135 pounds. Benn, on the other hand, is a natural welterweight, typically fighting at 147 pounds. To make the fight happen, Benn has proposed a catch weight of 143 pounds. I would even do a catch weight at 143, Benn said. I would make 143 for him. He won't take the fight.
Pick on guys at 35 and 40. We won't mess with those guys at 54, 47 and 54. Mess with those guys. Call those guys out. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to, fight somebody, go up there and fight the ones that the best, the 54 pounder, the 47 pounder.
The offer demonstrates Benn's willingness to compromise and meet Davis halfway, but he remains skeptical that Tank will accept. Benn's challenge comes at an intriguing time in his own career. The 28-year-old has been working to rebuild his reputation after a positive test for the banned substance clomiphene derailed a highly anticipated bout with Chris Eubank Jr. in October 2022. After being cleared by the National Anti-Doping Panel, Benn is now free to fight in the UK again, and his sights are set on major bouts. He's currently negotiating a February clash with WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios, but he's made it clear that a fight with Davis would take priority. He's the one who wanted to pipe up, Benn said. Now he has the chance to back it up.
And I mean, it's going to go, Tank going to be losing the first 3 rounds. Then he's going to download the data. Then he going to knock this dude out in round 7 or 8. Then he going to do the backflip. Then Jim Gray's going to get in the ring, or Caleb Plant's wife, and say, who do you want next? And Tank's going to say, I want all those guys. And they're going to go to the press conference, and Elliot Setback's going to say, who do you want next? He say,
While Davis has faced criticism for his choice of opponents, there's no denying his skill and power. With a record of 30-0 and 28 knockouts, Tank is one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. But Benn believes he has what it takes to end Davis's undefeated streak. I'm the real challenge, Benn said. Not these guys he's been fighting. Not Roach. Me. For Benn, it's about more than just proving himself. It's about showing the world that he's not afraid to take on the best, and that he's ready to leave his mark on the sport. But do you see Lamont Roach standing a chance against Tank? Let us know below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more updates.